Hey guys, what's going on? So today's the day that I'm going to show you all of my Bachmann N Scale Thomas and Friends collection. I'm gonna first be looking at steam engines, and then the rolling stock, and maybe the track that I got. Some of them I got for Christmas, and some of them I got maybe for last Christmas, and then the other ones like the Christmas before last Christmas. But anyways, let's start the review on my collection. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the steam engines to start my collection. Now, I haven't posted this on my community tab, but I am gonna film a series called the N Scale Railway, and I'm probably calling for voice actors who would probably voice the characters. I'm only gonna film the pilot episode for now. But first, I'm gonna film this N Scale collection first, before I film the pilot episode of the N Scale Railway. So that's exactly how it's gonna go. Anyways, first up we have Thomas. This is the first engine that I got from the Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle N Scale Deluxe Starter Set. I'm not sure if it's deluxe. And these engines look really small. And they kind of look more like the Diapet Thomas from Japan, if you know what I mean. Okay, I got the Diapet Thomas to compare to the Bachmann N-Scale Thomas. So, it looks like they're pretty much the same, except the N-Scale one's much smaller. The wheels look kind of similar, except the faces look more different. And the last difference is the N-Scale one has a black coupler, and the Diapet one has a gray coupler. Anyway, that's all I got for the comparison. Alright, let's throw the Diapet away, and let's keep reviewing the N-Scale Thomas. Even though the N-Scale Thomas is small, it looks like it's a lot detailed. I mean, look, you got the brake pipe. I mean, there's no red lining, so it looks more like the Making Tracks to Great Destinations era Thomas, or the Miller era Thomas. And the lamp and lamp irons and the brake pipe look realistic. You even catch the steps for his driver and fireman to climb. And the face looks just like CGI Thomas, except the eyes don't move like the HO scale Thomas and the G scale Thomas. Yes, even the dome looks more realistic. I just kind of wish the whistle was separately applied. Every little detail, like the buffers, are just amazing. And the funnel and the water tanks, they didn't forget about all that stuff on Thomas. It's just really nice. And the tail lamp too. And the back buffers. Nice. And the running board too. Really nice. Yeah, Thomas is a pretty good model. It's probably my favorite. Then we have James. Couldn't really fit in the camera like Thomas did because of how big he is. So I had to zoom out a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, here's James from a side point of view. He's pretty much small Diapet James. I could bring him over to compare him to. Okay, I got the Diapet James to compare him to the Bachmann N-Scale James. So let's go over it. Once again, the wheels look similar. The coal load looks more realistic to the Diapet one because it looks like it was more melted. The shape of the N-Scale James is probably similar to the Diapet one. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. this one away. And let's keep reviewing the N scale. Alright, let's keep looking at Jameson. So, once again, every little detail is spot on. Like the brake pipe, he has no tail lamp. The cab, I just wish there were some sort of cab controls. The whistle, I know that this is small, so it doesn't have to make the whistle separately apply, but I just kind of wish it was. The buffers look really realistic, and he doesn't have a lamp, so it's just 3 lamp irons. Why is my freaking phone There we go. I hate when my phone does that. Anyways, here we got the face. That face doesn't really remind me of James, but everything is really good. I just kind of wish the funnel was a bit thinner, like a bit thinner, like something. You see, that funnel is a bit thick. I just wish it was a bit like more realistic to make it look like James's funnel from the show. Also, the wheels, they're just kind of a bit gray, which they're supposed to be black. So I think they kind of messed that up. Kind of like the old HO scale James, huh? Okay, that was it for the James model with N scale. This is a pretty cool model. Alright, here we have Percy. He's a terrific model. Well, first, let's just take a look at him. So yeah, Percy is a terrific model, and it was mainly because of his detailed stuff. And yeah, every little bit of him. And they did decide to keep the lamp from the CGI series that started probably the Miller era, or the Making Tracks to Great Destinations era. Well, dang it. And the face, it looks just like the CGI series of Percy. And take a look at this. The whistle is separately applied. And the tank and the dome look amazing from the show. They did remember to keep the dome and the whistle gold. And his cab just looks real. And they did remember to keep his steps like they did with Thomas. And they did remember to keep his pistons. Or his cylinders. Yeah. Okay. Got the diaped Percy to compare him to the Bachmann N-scale Percy. Once again, the wheels look similar. The whistles look similar. And even the funnels look real too. And still our difference is the N-scale Percy has a black coupler and the diaped Percy has a gray coupler. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Okay, put this one away. Let's keep reviewing the N-scale. Okay, here's Percy from his side view. It looks just like the diaped Percy, except smaller. And, of course, his eyes don't move, like you see on the HO scale Percy and the G scale Percy. So I got this from last Christmas along with Thomas. I got James this Christmas, well, probably last Christmas. I got James yesterday, on Christmas Eve. But anyway, Percy looks just like Percy from the show, and Percy's an astounding model. Okay, that's enough for the steam engines. Now we're gonna move on to the rolling stock. Alright, first up we got Annie. And as you look at her, she looks just like from the original show. Okay, got the die pet Annie to compare with the N scale Annie. So the only difference is the roof is white, while the die pet Annie is like dark gray. It was from the CGI series, while this one is probably from the model series. But still, everything looks the same. And still the coupler is black, while this one is gray. The buffers kind of look the same. And the windows look the same, etc. Good. Let's put this one away. Let's keep looking at this one. This is pretty astounding for an N-scale model of Annie. They really did a good job with Annie's face. It's just great. Alright, that's it for Annie. Alright, next up we have Clarabelle. Now, Clarabelle looks the same as Annie, except her nameplate. Her face looks like Annie's face when I just reviewed her. Alright, I got the die pet Clarabelle to compare with the N-scale Clarabelle. Now, the rooftops still look different, and the buffers still look different, and the couplers. The windows look the same, and the doors, and the nameplates. One big difference is the back coupler is black, but this one is just a big handle for Annie to couple up. On the N scale, you just have Annie just hitch up to Clarabelle. That's all it is. Right, let's put this one away. Keep reviewing this one. Everything still looks the same. The inside looks pretty real. Still a nice model. Same thing like Annie, but Clarabelle's still a nice model. Okay, here we have the first troublesome truck. Wow. So, this guy's pretty cool. So, his face is just like from the model series, not really from the CGI series. It kind of looks like it was from Tomix, or maybe it wasn't, but this is Bachmann, not Tomix. And yes, it did have N scale, and Bachmann decided to make N scale. Now, Diapet hasn't made the troublesome truck, so I can't compare to this one. But these trucks do look like the HO scale ones and the G scale ones, you know, with the faces. The wheels look real, and even you got the doors too. So this truck is pretty good. Next up, we have the second troublesome truck. I love the expressions that these trucks have. There's no attention really drawn to it. I mean, the faces of the troublesome trucks look real from the model series. I mean, these trucks just scream with trouble that their faces have. Once again, they look pretty much the same except with the faces. Yeah. The backs look the same too, and the couplers. There's not really anything to review about it. It looks like some sort of gray trucks. No really attention drawn to it, but the model series trucks are just astounding. Okay, here we got the water tanker. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the collection of tank cars. Not just yet. I only got one tank car, which is the water tanker. So yeah, this is part of the rolling stock. It has that blue tank that represents the water. Well, apparently water is clear, and I'm assuming there's water inside. To be clear, there is a sign that says water and then raindrops. So the rolling stock is just amazing. It looks just like the HO scale and G scale that you see about the water tanker. It's just too amazing. Yeah, it's pretty great. Okay, moving on. This is one that's actually not in the Thomas and Friends aisle, but it's still part of the N scale aisle. This is a flatbed with a semi-truck trailer on it. Now this is the only rolling stock of the N scale collection that's not Thomas and Friends related. Or saying it's not Thomas and Friends, it's not in the Thomas and Friends aisle. And what I could probably say, this coupler is much more different. It looks more like a knuckle coupler. But you can change the couplers anytime. Anytime, you just need a smaller screwdriver. And now come back! Okay, I just had to put it back on the track. You just roll away for a sec. Now let's look at the semi-truck trailer. So this is the semi-truck trailer that came with the flatbed. It says Western Maryland, if I said it right. This is what it comes with the flatbed. And this has a spot right here for the truck trailer to attach to. Hold on. Okay, I attached the semi-truck trailer to the flatbed again. So yeah, this is the flatbed with the different coupler. Another thing that I got is this, the railroad crossing track. It goes like this. Whenever an engine crosses by this path right there, the crossing gates just close. And then when the engine leaves, it just opens up again. Another thing is the curvy N scale track from the Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle starter set. Also, I got the straight N scale track yesterday on Christmas Eve. That's right there, and the curvy track's right there. And the power track is just the curvy track. And that's it for my collection on the Bachmann N scale Thomas and Friends. Thank you for watching.